The following is a brief demonstration of our social license risk operating system. What you can see here is a representation of a number of stakeholders. In this case, there's a little bit less than 100 stakeholders, and the different colors represent the different groups of stakeholders. This is data that we extracted from a use case related to ConocoPhillips and the approval of the Alaska Willow project. So we took URLs related to 3 different periods in time, and then we extracted stakeholders and the correlated issues, and we positioned them in this high dimensional space. Now, what you're looking at here is 2 dimensions, or what current technology, basically current stakeholder maps, are able to produce, and you can derive some information from it. Of course, you have stakeholders on the high level of the graph and then at the bottom of the graph as well, but mostly you see stakeholders sort of all over the place. Hard to understand what's really happening. Now, if you actually increase the number of dimensions, in this case to 3 dimensions, you can start seeing that there's an actual pattern here, where on the left you have stakeholders that are all sort of on that part of the graph, and then on the right, what you're actually seeing are what we call principals. In this case, companies, oil and gas companies, that are somewhat related to the Willow case of ConocoPhillips in Alaska. Now, what we've done, and this is just a representation of this mathematical space that we've created, where we basically have come up with a multi-factor analysis that uses a lot of different dimensions to try to understand the movement of these stakeholders. So, for example, we can say, show me which stakeholders are the most activated. And here you can see that the stakeholders here, for instance, this stakeholder, the Center for Livable Future, is one of the most activated stakeholders, and it has these different types of relationships, and it's all algorithmically calculated. So the idea is that you can come up with an atlas representing the stakeholders and their different relationships and how they are related to the issues themselves, and more importantly, which is sort of the next phase of where we're going, to be able to measure the velocity of how these dots move over time, and then calculate where these, what we call materiality thresholds, actually exist. And that should be a demonstration for the near future. Thank you.